Americans are literally giving up on the American dream right now in 2025 because mortgage payments are becoming so expensive and so many people don't want anything to do with it. It's actually turning into a major crisis.
My mortgage payment went from $1,600 to $3,500. This is all I have been seeing going on my timeline on TikTok right now on how
Everybody's mortgage is going up. But why? Well, there's multiple different reasons, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So if you are on the fence about buying a home or you just purchased a home, you need to be well aware of what is going to happen over the next few years. So I'll break all this down in just a moment, but before I do, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So if you are like most people, the American dream is to own a home. Own something that you can pay off and you can have forever. No more payments. Well, here's the problem. You will always have payments. You will have insurance, you'll have property taxes, and you could have more. I'll break this down in a moment, but this is what most people don't even realize.
Can your mortgage payment go up even though you have a fixed rate on a fixed term? Yes. And the reason why is because your property taxes and your homeowner's insurance can fluctuate.
Okay, great. So you have a fixed rate mortgage and you have it for a specific length of time, normally 15 or 30 years. Well, these payments can fluctuate. Your homeowner's insurance can go up. It can spike. Your property taxes can go up as well. And for many people, they don't even realize it is happening until they receive that paper in the mail that says, hey, you owe this much more money every single month. And it's becoming more and more expensive with each passing year. Look at this.
People are going to lose their homes. They're going to lose their homes. I'm telling you guys, the storm is brewing and it's coming fast. Insurance premiums and property taxes are skyrocketing through the roof. And the result is that people's mortgage payments are getting higher and higher to the point that's going to be unaffordable for most people.
To the point it's going to be unaffordable for most people. When people buy a house, especially here in the United States, we tend to do something that financial experts highly recommend against. They say, do not max out your budget. If your budget is $1 million, try to stay well below that, maybe $750,000. Don't push it all the way to $1 million because property taxes will go up. Homeowners insurance, as we've seen over the past several years, it's going up. It's more expensive to build a home today than it was 10 to 20 years ago. As a result, the price of lumber goes up, the price of all the materials goes up, the price of labor is more expensive. As a result, insurance companies are trying to increase their premiums to cover said potential damage. That's the issue. So if you think you're locked in at a certain rate, well, it's not going to happen.
If you don't already know, your property insurance and your property taxes are rolled into your mortgage payment for as long as you have a mortgage. If you don't have a mortgage, you have to pay those property taxes and insurance separately outside of the mortgage. Part of your mortgage payment, when that statement comes in the mail, there's a line there that says escrow. And escrow is money that's set aside from your payments that is then used by the bank to pay your insurance and your property taxes. Your actual mortgage payment may not go up even if you have a low interest rate. Interest and principal will stay the same, but the amount you have to pay every month is going to skyrocket.
That's the key. The amount you're going to pay every single month could potentially skyrocket. Now, I want to show you this because everybody talks about the American dream. People are coming in from other countries because they want to achieve the American dream, own a home. That's what they want. Start a family. Have a career. Well, that sounds like the American dream in the 80s and 90s. Not in 2025. Look at this. It says the American dream of a starter home now starts at $1 million in 28 states. $1 million for a starter home. That is insane. That is absolutely insane that over half of the states here in the US, you have to have more than $1 million to get a starter home. Yeah. Look at this, though. This is crazy.
How much money do you have to make to afford a home in America? In 1985, it was $24,910. By 1991, it went up to $30,126. 1999, 40 grand, 816. 2006, 42 grand, 200. By 2015, the number actually went down. This is post-crash and entering low interest rates. By 2015, the number was $32,150. 4 years later, in 2019, it was $38,500. Let's enter the post-COVID era. By 2021, the number had risen to $63,925, nearly doubling since 2015. By 2022, it was $92,148 by that year, December, with having higher prices and higher rates. And as of today, when the data was most recent by the end of Q4 2024, the number is now estimated to be in or around $126,764 needing to be made per year to afford the median home in America.
Who here makes $126,764 per year? The majority of Americans do not. Okay? That puts you in the top, I believe, top 1%. It might be 150,000, but again, it's very close. That puts you in the top percent. That is the upper tier. Okay? That's upper class. The majority of Americans are not upper class. That is the problem. To buy a home in 2025, you need over $125,000 per year in income. That is insane. Now, I want to show you this because this is something most people don't realize when they're buying a home, because everybody that I talk to doesn't want to buy an existing home. What they want to do is they want to buy land and build a home. I had a friend that just went through this. He was floored when he saw this thing come in the mail.
I didn't know that when I was building a home that I was just gonna have to pay taxes off the land, and then when the home is actually built, then you got to pay taxes on the actual home and the land, which increased my mortgage by $3,000. I didn't know that. So now my mortgage is increased by $3,000 from what I'm currently paying. You know, and plus you still got all these other expenses and stuff like that.
What most people don't realize is when they buy land and build a home on it, the county assesses property taxes on the land. That's it. Because there's no structures on it. The land might not even be that valuable. So you build your home, right? Then the following year you realize my taxes just went up. Because now I have to pay property taxes on the home as well as the land. Guess what? The land's value, let's say it's $50,000. Well, then you build a house on it, and then your neighbor, they bought land and they built a house, and your other neighbor bought land and they built a house. Now you have a little small community. Well, your piece of land that you initially paid $50,000 for, that property value or that land value probably went up because now there's a community. So instead of $50,000, maybe it's a $75,000 value. You got to pay property taxes on that. On top of that, you have to pay property taxes on your actual home, which is sitting on the land now valued at $75,000. So maybe your home is valued at $400,000. Well, now you have a total valuation of $475,000 as opposed to previously where your valuation was only $50,000 for the land. You get the idea? Yeah, this is how you get screwed because nobody tells you this. When you are building your home, nobody tells you, be prepared because your property taxes are going to go up. Well, you know what most people are doing and why many people are not only giving up on the American dream, but are trying to give their homes back to the bank? It's because they built their home. They built their dream home. They maxed out their budget, and now they have property taxes that they can't afford. The value of their home is going up. Their insurance rates, their premiums are going through the roof, and they can't afford the monthly payment, the insurance, the property taxes, the maintenance. Everything is becoming so expensive. Americans are just giving up. So, I wanted to share this with you so that you are not one of those people. Hopefully, you aren't rushing into buying a home at this time, especially when mortgage rates keep going up. But be prepared, be patient, because there's going to come a point in time in this economy where it will be a good idea to buy a home. However, today and right now is just not that time. So, as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. Americans simply giving up simply because mortgage payments are going through the roof.